So I want you to feel like your weight is right underneath the arches of your feet, right in the center of your shoelaces. Your arms should hang just directly under your shoulders, which is good. Now, the reason sometimes you shank the ball is your weight goes forward and your pelvis thrusts into the ball. See, your right heel is up off the ground?
Yeah.
And you can see here how far forward your body is relative to the address position. Here you are at setup.
Wow.
And there you are at impact. So that forward thrust is a result of your right knee shooting toward the ball and not towards your left knee. The right ankle needs to roll inward a little bit. You don't want to come up off that right heel so early. So one thing that a lot of pros do is at impact with short irons, their right heel doesn't come up hardly at all. So I want you to just feel like your right heel stays down a little bit longer. Now, if you look at pros, the right knee doesn't move out toward the ball. This is Jordan Spieth. You can see his right knee and his hips stay back.
Right.
So he's returning the shaft close to that same angle. So that's one thing that's causing that. So the simple way to fix that is just keep the right heel down longer at impact, and after the ball's gone you can lift it up. You can see here your right heel comes up. See how quick the right heel jumps up there?
Yep.
See how the right knee shoots toward the ball, the right hip goes toward the ball, everything's going thrusting toward the ball. What that does is it gets the shaft very steep there. So the contact gets, if you look at this in slow motion and we zoom in, you can see here the club head is actually outside the ball right there. So if the club head's outside the ball, that's not going to be a good outcome. Here's where the ball is at setup. Or sorry, the club is right there at setup. And here's where it is at impact. So that's all due to that forward movement. All right. You've taken your swing is good. But we're going to change a couple things. Your takeaway is going to be a little different. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, watch, his hands are going to stay out right in that circle, and the club stays right on the plane there. As he gets the club about halfway back where the left arm's parallel to the ground, the shaft is on approximately that plane. 63-degree angle. Now as he comes up, there's the top of his backswing. This is Jordan Spieth. We'll draw a line from the middle of that circle. So this is his hand path. He goes up and he comes down, and notice the shaft is now on a shallower or flatter plane angle than it started. So we got it up on one plane here, goes up to the top, and he comes down on a shallower plane, and the club head runs right down the plane of the shaft to hit the ball. Alright. Now when you go back, your hands go back pretty good, but the club gets too far behind your hands there. And the shaft's on a too shallow of a plane. So then you're going to go lifting the club up and come over the top. Well, we'll change that instantly with a different path.
Okay.
Your hands are going to stand close, the shaft's going to come up on a vertical plane, and then it's going to shallow out. So we're gonna practice the Jim Furyk swing for a minute. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Every tour player shallows the club out pretty much on the downswing. Poor players take the club inside and come over the top. So they go from shallow on the backswing to steep coming down. Better players go a little steeper on the backswing and shallower coming down. Now this is an extreme case of a guy who goes steep to shallow. That's Ryan Moore. That's straight up and down. Okay, now watch this. Now he's just changed the plane of the shaft 40 degrees, but his hand path is straight up and straight down.
Right.
So it's a throwing motion. With your right arm, if you throw a baseball, your right hand goes like that. It's the same action in the golf swing. Your right palm works up. If I threw a baseball, if I could throw it hard, which I could at one time, that's how I did it. Right there. So you got to learn that move. You got to go steep on the backswing. You got to get shallow. You're going shallow to steep. All right, that's it. Now you say that's going to be hard. No, it's not going to be hard. It'll be 5 minutes.